What could possibly cause Taehyung, better known around the world as BTS's V, to suddenly break down in tears in the middle of a public space? Why did a simple reunion between Jimin and JungkooK at Incheon International Airport spark one of the most emotionally charged conversations among fans in years? And perhaps most importantly, was this just an ordinary embrace between two close friends, or did something deeper unfold that day, something powerful enough to move even Taehyung to tears? The scene that played out at Incheon was far from an ordinary celebrity sighting. It became a raw and dramatic sequence that left millions of fans shaken, flooding social media with questions and theories. The terminal was already buzzing with energy long before the members appeared. Thousands of ARMY had gathered, their banners raised high, their voices echoing through the vast halls. The anticipation was almost tangible, every fan waiting for the moment JungkooK would emerge from his flight. His return from the United States was no casual event. It marked the end of weeks filled with intense schedules, headlines, and speculation about BTS's next moves. When JungkooK finally stepped through the arrival gate, the atmosphere instantly shifted. The noise level soared as cameras flashed and screams filled the space. His mere presence commanded attention, his exhaustion visible but his aura undeniable. This was the moment fans had been waiting for, yet no one could have predicted what would come next. Out of the crowd appeared Jimin, walking with a sense of urgency, his eyes already glistening. Without hesitation, he went straight to JungkooK and, in front of fans, reporters, and flashing cameras, pulled him into a long, unguarded embrace. It wasn't a quick greeting or a staged gesture, it was vulnerable, heartfelt, and overflowing with emotion. In that instant, the chaotic noise of the airport seemed to dissolve into stunned silence. Within seconds, the silence cracked into sobs as fans themselves were overwhelmed by what they were witnessing. But it wasn't just the hug that made the moment historic. It was Taehyung's reaction. Standing nearby, observers noticed his face shift from calm composure to visible struggle. Moments later, tears streamed down his cheeks. The sight of V, an idol so often celebrated for his charisma and poise, breaking down so openly sent shockwaves across the fandom. Why was he crying? What had he seen or felt in that moment that overwhelmed him so completely? This single image of Taehyung wiping his tears while the crowd erupted in cries instantly became one of the most circulated visuals of the day. And from that moment forward, one burning question has dominated online discussions: what exactly about Jimin and JungkooK's reunion pushed Taehyung past his breaking point? Theories multiplied almost immediately. Some fans believe his tears reflected relief, that the long separation, the relentless uncertainty, and the stress of global expectations finally found release when he saw his bandmates reconnect so openly. Others suggest that the emotional energy in the airport, the combination of fan love, Jimin's vulnerability, and JungkooK's exhaustion, created a tidal wave of feeling that Taehyung could not resist. Still others whisper that there may be deeper reasons hidden beneath the surface, private struggles that briefly surfaced in that raw display. For those present, the moment felt frozen in time. The hug lasted longer than anyone expected, long enough for every person in the terminal to process what they were witnessing. JungkooK, visibly drained from his flight, seemed surprised at first, but soon melted into Jimin's arms, leaning into the comfort. Jimin held on tightly, his face pressed against JungkooK's shoulder, unashamed of his emotions. And then there was Taehyung, quietly turning his face away from the cameras but unable to hide his tears before they were captured. In a world where idols are trained to maintain composure and mask their private emotions, this was something entirely different. It wasn't polished or staged. It wasn't a performance. It was raw humanity on display, and that made it one of the most powerful BTS moments of the year. The weight of the moment grows even heavier when considered against the larger context. JungKook's time in the United States had been grueling, filled with back-to-back performances and media appearances. Concerns about his health had already spread across fan communities. Jimin, known for his empathy, likely carried that worry with him, making his embrace not just a greeting but an act of support. Taehyung, standing as both observer and brother, may have found the sight of his two members comforting one another too overwhelming, his emotions spilling over before he could contain them. Social media exploded within hours. Videos of the hug and Taehyung's tears spread like wildfire, topping global trending lists. Headlines across countries asked the same question: why was Taehyung crying? Analysts, cultural commentators, and fans alike attempted to decode the moment, pointing to the symbolism of three members each carrying personal burdens, colliding in an unplanned display of solidarity. Witnesses described the atmosphere as unforgettable. One fan said, "When Jimin hugged JungkooK, the crowd screamed. But when Taehyung started crying, everything changed. People around me were crying too, because the emotion was contagious." Another recalled, "It felt like watching something private, like a family reunion, but it happened in front of all of us. I'll never forget it." And this is what made the moment so significant: it blurred the line between celebrity and human being. Fans are accustomed to performances carefully designed for the stage, to images curated for social media. But this was different. It stripped away the layers of polish and exposed the truth: global icons can still break down, still cry, still crave comfort just like anyone else. For many, this airport reunion redefined BTS not just as entertainers but as individuals navigating real struggles in front of the world. For ARMY, it reaffirmed why they remain loyal, because beyond the music, beyond the fame, these artists embody raw humanity and genuine connection. And yet, questions remain. What truly happened inside Taehyung's heart in that moment? Was it sorrow, relief, gratitude, or all three entwined? Was it about Jimin and JungkooK specifically, or about the shared weight all the members have carried for years? We may never know the full truth. Perhaps it is precisely the mystery, the unanswered questions, that gives the scene its enduring power. Still, there is a crucial reminder that tempers the emotional weight of the story. In the rapid world of entertainment news, narratives can be exaggerated. Airports are notorious breeding grounds for rumors, where out-of-context images and quick assumptions fuel headlines. HYB has not confirmed the details of the supposed event, and without official statements, much of what has circulated remains rooted in interpretation rather than fact. BTS's history is already filled with authentic, documented moments of love, loyalty, and sacrifice. These moments stand on their own, powerful enough without embellishment. Fans should remember that while images of Jimin hugging JungkooK and Taehyung crying might capture hearts, attaching sweeping narratives without evidence risks fueling misinformation. Whether or not the events at Incheon unfolded exactly as described, one truth stands: BTS continues to captivate the world not only with their